I came across a video from a prominent young Earth creationist that deserves responding to. Now, the video is old, but the arguments employed are still current, and I'm really responding to the arguments and not attacking the Christian who was making them. The video is really tight and concise and gives a great opportunity to correct common errors of fundamentalism. As a Christian, I think the church will be better off when the influence of young Earth creationism wanes and more of us accept evolution. The pastor here is Voddie Baucham. Okay, so here we go. I'll play essentially the whole video and stop to respond. Voddie seems to be responding to a question about the culture war and origins.
You know, my number one pet peeve when it comes to the culture war and origins is that people will allow evolutionists to talk about evolution like it's fact, like it's absolutely proven.
So using the word fact is rather strong, and scientists generally don't refer to their theories as facts. But the evidence in support of some theories is so strong that we can treat them, for all intents and purposes, as fact. And evolution is in that category. While we don't have full knowledge of all its mechanisms, we see that it happens.
And be intimidated when it comes to talking about creationism as though there's absolutely no fact or no science on our side.
Well, the science is against you. It has been said that it is easier to believe in a flat Earth than a young Earth. And there is no field of science that supports direct creation or a young Earth.
And nothing could be further from the truth. The fact of the matter is there's actually more scientific evidence on our side than there is on theirs.
There's more evidence that evolution isn't true? So where are the ton of academic journal articles showing how evolution is a myth and giving evidence of direct creation? Of course, there is debate within the scientific community on how evolution happens, but the evidence supports that it does happen.
And there's more presupposition on their side than there is on ours.
More presupposition by the scientists and the creationists? Go to the website of Answers in Genesis to their statement of faith. It states that mankind was directly created. So with the evolution debate, they are assuming their conclusion. Their presuppositions that evolution is false. The statement of faith also says that no apparent, perceived, or claimed evidence in any field of science can be valid if it contradicts Scripture based upon their preferred method of interpreting Scripture. Those sure sound like presuppositions to me.
And so we'll take, for example, two guys who disagree with one another over the age of the Earth. One says 3 billion, another says 10 billion. And we'll say they're both intelligent. There's 7 billion years between them.
I'm not aware of any scientist who thinks the Earth is 10 billion years old, or anyone who thinks it is 3 billion years old. Our best estimate is roughly 4.5 billion years. There's no active debate within the scientific community about 3 versus 10 or anything like that. The evidence is really strong that the right date is roughly 4.5 billion. And there is no science that measures the age of the Earth at 6,000 years.
I say 6,000. There's less than 3 billion between me and the guy who says 3 billion. So how come 7 billion between them is allowed, but 3 billion on my part is not allowed?
Well, I could say 600 years for the age of the Earth, because I misinterpreted religious text. There's only about 5,000 years between you and I. Is my position credible? Should you take it seriously? The point is, you have no basis for 6,000 years scientifically, just like I have no basis for 600 years scientifically, and both are flatly rejected by a simple appeal to objective reality. So there's no reason to take your claim seriously, unless we reject science.
Because after all, you're just talking about big, giant numbers. And it's all in order to intimidate people and to cover your tracks when you don't have scientific evidence. So we need to take courage, speak the truth, don't back down.
I think you should back down. I'm worried that when some of the children in the background of the video grow up and realize the things you've taught them on evolution and the age of the Earth are false, they will question what you've taught them about the resurrection too. This is about your credibility.